Hey, welcome to the new series, Duke It Out with Duke. I am changing the style of my Dream Tour podcast, and it's going to be more freeform, more open to talk about whatever you want. I'm still the same guy. I'm still talking to people, but I'm growing and changing just like everyone else. So we're doing a new thing. Get ready to duke it out with us. And we have a special guest today. We're doing another comedian this week. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Brandon Petri. Thanks so much for having me duke it out with you, man.
Brandon Petri from the podcast Brown Petri Dish. If he isn't going to shout himself out, I will.
Yeah, I gotta get better at that.
So, you've been doing comedy for a lot longer than I have, right?
Yeah, I'm at a little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years. That's a good point to be at. So you are a co-feature or feature act?
So far I've co-featured.
You've co-featured?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So how long did it take you before you, before you were like just doing it a couple days a week, before you were just moving past that I'm trying it out phase?
Like 3 weeks in, maybe. I mean, I got kind of booked for a non-paying bar show, and I thought I was hot shit after that, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go do this every day because I'm the man now. And then I sucked at the bar show.
Yeah, I'm going to Pharmacy tomorrow for the first time.
It's a tough one.
Is it a tough one?
Only because of football season.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about jerking off or something like that. People like that.
They love it there. You're in Highland Square. It's like Lakewood for Akron.
Yeah, there's people right behind there doing that probably.
Oh yeah, for sure, all the time. If not cocaine in the bathroom, jerking off on stage.
I feel like Highland Square is mainly like 16-year-old girls taking pictures in front of the graffiti wall.
Yeah, for the most part. Well, usually they're like inside the bars because they all have fake IDs. But yeah.
Yeah. You can't even talk to a girl down there. That's crazy.
I wouldn't.
I'd pass myself, but you never know. I almost went last week, but I ended up going to Zub's and getting a sandwich.
That's my classic trip. If I'm coming from North Royalton to Pharmacy, I'm definitely hitting Zub's. Because there's not one by me,
Is that the only one?
I don't know if it's the only one.
I know my freshman assistant football coach. He was like the lineman coach. He owns that place.
Oh, really?
Shout out Niemer, I guess.
Hell
Shout
yeah.
out Zub's. Make good sandwiches. I don't know.
Putting the good fight to Twisted Melts.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, Twisted Melts is right up there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Highland Square has changed a lot because I went to St. V right down the street from it.
Oh, okay.
It's changed a lot since I've only been out of high school 3 years, so it's changed a lot since then.
Jeez, man. It's weird to think about. I've only been going there since comedy, basically. So I've only been there a couple years now.
Yeah.
And
so, you ever win a contest?
I've come in second. I came in second for the amateur contest, but one of my best friends, Brian Gallagher, beat me.
Okay.
And so I've got this ongoing joke with him that he's my comedy nemesis now. He's like the nicest guy. Yeah. Actually, that's kind of how I got the show that I'm running now, is because I won a contest there. They did this thing where they had the entire bar vote for their favorite comic. Yeah. And I beat Teddy Bruno.
Oh, wow.
And that was I never let him live it down.
You can't.
I can't. So I still have the little voting card thing, and I had Teddy sign it because I told him one day when he's famous, eventually, then.
That's my favorite thing about getting into comedy these past 2 months has been it didn't take more than 10 minutes to just become part of it. You get in there and comedians, if they know you or not, they joke around like friends you've known. They joke around the same way that me and my friends joke around that I've known since I've been 14 years old.
Oh yeah, for sure. I always thought it was going to be something I would get snubbed out of, or people were going to be assholes because you're new, but it's not like that at all.
I mean, they told me I look like Rico from Hannah Montana, but.
Oh my God. That realization all just hit me at one time.
Oh God, no. I mean, but that's about it.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense actually.
You did great at that crowd control on Thursday. Me and my girlfriend came to watch, and you did real well for leading off.
I tried, man. I was hoping to make the highlight reel again. I'll see if Drew got a clip for me or anything like that. Yeah. I had a couple of them that were fun.
And Florentine's hilarious.
Oh yeah, he's really good, man.
I felt like I really helped his show though.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like I'm a great person to have in the crowd. Because
Especially front row.
I'm easy to pick on because I'm young. You can make so many jokes about a young person, you know? It's like, oh, you live with your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know?
He spun off on like pumpkin picking. You said you were going pumpkin picking, and he was like, "Well, I have like 30 minutes on that."
Yeah,
What are you talking about? You just pulled it out of the pocket.
I knew what, so we hadn't even really planned on going pumpkin. Well, now we're going pumpkin picking.
You don't have a choice now.
Yeah, no, now we're going pumpkin picking, me and my girlfriend. We weren't planning on it. She had mentioned something about possibly doing it with her friend and her friend's boyfriend, which luckily her friend has a cool boyfriend that I like. Most of the time, you don't get that.
No, you, man.
Shout out Josh.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I can't think of too many boyfriends of my friends or my girlfriend's friends that
You like hit it off with.
none, like not one of them.
You know what's actually crazy is my girlfriend's brothers. I actually was just over at their. She's at work, and I was just over at their house watching the Ohio State game, just
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting that her brothers were all very cool right away, and I was like, all right, sweet.
That's a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
none
no.
of them own firearms or anything.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
I said none of them own firearms or anything. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I own a firearm.
Yeah, me too.
Say that I entered a gun raffle online, or are we gonna get demonetized? Am I demonetized? Just kidding.
How-
I've never monetized to
Yeah.
get demonetized.
I mean, it's America. I'm pretty sure you can just do that. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, no. I mean, I had to apply and fill out some stuff, and I'm 21 and got a gun. And it was cool.
That's all it takes, man.
I want to take it to the gun range. I want to have you. So have you had a gun for a while?
Yeah, I've had a gun for a few years now.
So, do you take it to the gun range pretty often? What type of gun is that actually?
I have two guns. I have a Caltech PF9, and that's a 9mm pistol. It's like super concealable. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
get a CCW. Still haven't gotten around to that.
Yeah, I've been talking about getting it since I turned 21, but I haven't got around to it.
I get nervous. I'm like, what? I don't know. I've seen too many times where things go wrong when police pull you over and everything gets.
Well, actually, I know some police officers, and from what you hear, is like police officers are really into having a CCW. They all have CCWs and they
Yeah.
use them outside of work. If you get pulled over by a cop and you say, "Hey, I have my CCW, my gun is in my glove compartment," just so you know, and that's the first thing you say, he's like, "Really? What kind of gun you got?"
Oh, I really hope that's how it goes.
That's what I mean. You're white, so it's different.
Yeah, that's very true. They'll be like, "Oh, we thought you did."
Yeah, no, but from what I hear, it actually works out pretty well for me because usually it sparks like a lot of police officers are into guns. It's something that's part of their job.
Yeah.
So when you can talk to them about it and you can connect with them on a certain level, it's like, oh yeah, nice, works pretty well for you. But do you take it to the range pretty often? I just got mine a couple weeks ago and I haven't done it yet.
I've mostly taken it down south to like property and stuff like that where we can
like
shoot.
South Ohio or like down south?
Yeah, South Ohio. I've taken it down south. I've taken it to Lebanon, Virginia before, but
Really? You just take your gun everywhere,
it depends.
drive around,
It's one of the reasons
my
you're
God.
like going down there. You know what I mean?
bring it up on stage.
Yeah. I definitely don't worry about anyone freaking out about it in Lebanon, Virginia. I mean,
no,
shit.
No, the funniest thing was that girl on Thursday. She pulled a knife out of her pocket.
Carly Robe, yeah. Carly
Oh.
just, she was like, "Yeah, I carry a knife," and then pulls it out to show us. I'm like, we believed you. You didn't really need to show it to us.
Kill Tony.
Yeah, I've seen
Amy
it.
O.
Yeah.
You know, she was taking through. They searched her purse the next week.
Oh my God.
They special searched her purse.
And Carly's wild. She's a lot of fun.
Dude, I can't believe there's people like that in the world. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, I'm 21. I've only met so many types of people, you know?
I'm telling you, the longer you do comedy, you're gonna meet some weird people, man.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's great.
See, because once I started doing comedy too, little annoying situations from regular life, I'm now like intrigued and I'm like, this could be funny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go deeper with this crackhead.
There's an angle to this.
Wait. I'm gonna get deeper into conversation with this crackhead.
Yeah.
Let's reframe my statement there. That was
Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
that's true. That's very true. So shoot. What type of stuff do you guys talk to comedians on your podcast, don't you?
Yeah, usually local guys, like people in the area and stuff, and we do a little bit of news, and then every comic that's on, we ask them who their influencing comic was, like who's the guy that or
Oh, shoot.
girl that got you to start doing it, and then we watch like a small clip from them and then talk about that person.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So you watch a small, like from a big comedian?
Yeah, it depends. Whoever someone's into.
That'd be hard for me to answer because I've been a comedy fan for years.
Yep.
I don't know who's the person who's my major influence. Who's your, like, okay, if every comic in the world released a special today, right now on Netflix, every big comic that you know, all released a special right now on Netflix, same time, which one do you watch first?
Oh, Anthony Jeselnik.
Jeselnik.
I would probably watch Anthony Jeselnik before.
Wow, okay.
That's a tough one. I mean, don't get me wrong. I freaked out over the Dave Chappelle thing, but
me
who
too.
didn't?
That was so good.
It was great.
amazing. I'm seeing him in
That's going to be
2
awesome.
weeks. Joe Rogan, Dave Chappelle, Nashville, Tennessee, same show.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's going to be wild.
$55 tickets. I mean, I'm in the very back row of the arena.
But it's still $55 tickets to go see Chappelle.
Yes.
Like, that's amazing.
I got 4 friends together, and we're going to see. We're going to go spend 5 days in Nashville, go to casinos, have a good time. Dude, the Airbnb, we were able to get an Airbnb for 5 days for like $250 a person.
What?
15.
That's amazing.
16 minutes outside of Nashville. Like that's a $300 prepay, and then gas and expenses. That is a super cheap trip.
Yeah.
We live in a crazy, crazy world where you can do stuff like that.
Now that Airbnb is a thing, it's actually a lot easier to do that.
The thing about Airbnb is they watch you beat off from the cameras hidden in the room. You know?
If you're going to save me $150 a night,
You can watch me
you can watch me beat off.
Yeah,
that is fine.
But if I find myself on an OnlyFans, I'm going to be like, dude, I need 50%.
I was going to say, I at least need a cut of that. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, I bet you there's a website out there where you can just watch Airbnb spy cams.
Dark web's a crazy place. I bet there's some shit out there like that.
I've never looked it up. I have DuckDuckGo, so
Yeah. I just wouldn't imagine that. I wouldn't think that you would want to watch strangers do weird shit. Behind closed doors, I just want to let people do their own thing. I don't need my image of them
You've
shattered
never
for
watched
life.
Porn?
Yeah, that's
They're strangers. I mean, are they not strangers? Do you watch people you know? Do you watch that one girl from your high school that did it, that's like into porn now? You watch her?
I don't think we had any hot girls in my school that were into
Well, I don't.
turning into
I
porn.
didn't say hot.
Oh, well, I don't think we had any girls that from my high school that got into porn. Maybe. Good,
I don't
good
know
for
I don't
them.
know of any yet. I mean, that's big money.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the website you're working for.
Mm-hmm.
But you could be getting paid nothing and being in a cage somewhere. That's the worst situation. That's the one thing, like, that sucks. It's like, everyone watches porn, but you don't know the situation.
You don't know why they got there.
Yeah.
It would be funny if they had like a backstory for all the porn stars.
that'd
Like
be
they
nice.
have, you know how comics have like their biography, like, oh, started off in, Little Rock, Arkansas, doing
Rock.
bar shows or
Yeah.
something. And you're like, oh my God, she was like a naked Jello wrestler and moved
Yeah.
up from there. And I've worked her way into Pornhub or
Now
something.
everyone's going to be an OnlyFans come up. Like,
Yeah.
OnlyFans come up is like the new way. The new wave.
Yeah, I mean, cut out the middleman, I guess. Just sell directly to the consumer.
Yeah. Remember when OnlyFans almost canceled porn?
Yeah, man. I called it though. I was like, they're gonna reverse this decision so quick.
Wasn't like over 90% of their stuff porn?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Anytime someone says they have an OnlyFans, they're not trying to sing songs on it and sell them to you.
Dude, dog, shut up.
Yeah.
You hear him running around up there? My friend Adam just got here, I think.
I couldn't tell if it was your friend or the dog.
Oh, shoot. I have no idea what he's saying. I'll talk to him later.
Yeah.
But, yeah, what time do we got? All right, we got 15 minutes before the camera gives out on us. That's actually been kind of a pain because I bought this camera thinking that I would be, because I was recording on my phone.
Yeah.
The first 25 episodes of the show, probably 29 episodes of the show. I got the camera and I get the camera. I'm like, wow, I got this super nice Canon camera. Wow, super fun. Next thing you know, it cuts off at 29 minutes and 59 seconds. And I'm like, wait, my podcast is an hour and a half. So
Ooh. It didn't say that? Like, it didn't say that it cuts off within a certain amount of time? Or
I didn't do enough research. It said, so I bought the YouTube creator kit. With that nice microphone, the camera, nice lens. And I was like, oh, this is like the ideal YouTuber thing. But the difference is, so this is a video camera, but it's not a DSLR.
Okay.
And a DSLR, based on the United Kingdom and the United States camera laws, basically, these cameras aren't allowed to record over 30 minutes because it would create problems with the DSLR sales, and like it's like they're protecting the industry of the two types of cameras.
That's bizarre. I didn't know there was all this politics.
Yeah, that's what I found out on Yahoo Answers.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, dude, I used to go on there for everything, Yahoo Answers, but like now it's like Google has the answer.
Yeah, Google it doesn't even give you like the website. It'll just show words after your search and say like yes or no or something.
But like, is Google right? Like, if Google was wrong, we wouldn't know.
What are we gonna do about it?
We're like the smartest and dumbest generation at the same time.
Yeah.
We have the access to the most information anyone has ever had access to. Like, I can figure out how fast a cheetah runs, if a zebra's black with white stripes or a zebra's white with black stripes. I can figure that out in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know how to do a lot without that.
Yeah, right?
Like, I could not get somewhere. I couldn't drive somewhere. If
No.
you told me, turn left at the second light, and then you gotta pass 3 stop signs and then make a right, I'd be like, what's the address?
Yeah, especially, I mean, if you're like dyslexic or something, you're fucked as far as directions go. There's so many streets named after numbers and stuff. You got to make a left after 3rd Street and a right onto 9th Street, and 303rd's how you get there the fastest. You're like, what is going on?
Did you know that dyslexia and sex daily are the same letters?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That was the best T-shirt I've ever seen.
I have sex daily.
I have sex daily, and it's X'd out and says dyslexia. I see a lot of T-shirts. I make T-shirts, so I make custom T-shirts for people. So I see a lot of stuff come through. It's interesting.
It makes sense that you have like the Jersey Shore job. Like you're doing that.
The Jersey Shore job.
Yeah.
I was a little young for Jersey Shore.
Oh God, now I'm feeling old.
No, it's not like I was a little young. It's just like, so my mom growing up was like, you get to watch TV on Saturday morning. You get 1 hour. We were outside kids.
Oh,
So-
you were outdoor kids.
Yeah, she kept us out back. There was a chain. There was a little house.
Yeah.
That's where we stayed during the day. She let us in.
You're like, if it rains, you're lucky. You'll come in.
Yeah. So we were kids. He was like, get home. You do your homework, which I never did, and you go outside. The door's locked until dinner time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we had to play outside in the yard and in the woods and stuff. And that's how I learned how to set a snare and try and catch squirrels.
Just to do something
needed
outside.
something to do, yeah.
So Oh, okay.
I got pretty close. So like a snare is like a weird thing. It's like, it's kind of hard to do, but I figured it out pretty quick with a little bit of help from YouTube.
Yeah.
But you like tie a string to a tree branch, pull it down, hook it up somehow, and it's supposed to like grab the squirrel by the head.
Yeah. Or rabbits or whatever.
Or rabbits or whatever. Mine wasn't big enough for rabbits.
Oh.
But I was like 12 years old trying to catch these squirrels. And I came home one day, was getting off the bus, and I watched a squirrel lick the peanut butter off my stick. Oh, dang. Everything sounds wrong coming out.
I was really hoping to see where that was going to go.
So I put peanut butter on a stick, and the squirrel was licking peanut butter off the stick that I applied peanut butter. It doesn't sound any better.
No, you're digging yourself a hole there.
Yeah, but he's licking the peanut butter off, and the thing went up, and it just like grazed his tail, and I was like, damn, my trap
So
sucks.
close. I feel like as a kid, I would have thought a snare would be amazing until I realized that it snaps rabbits' necks because usually they're running so fast.
Well, yeah. So what I was trying to kill a squirrel.
Yeah.
That was my goal, was to kill this squirrel.
Oh, okay. So you knew ahead of time what the end game of this was going to be.
Yeah, because like my brother's baseball games were there. I'm talking to one of the grandparents of the kids, and he's a hunter, and he's like, oh man, yeah, I went squirrel hunting. I was like, you eat squirrels? And he was like, yeah. And the next day he brought me like deep fried squirrel with gravy, and I was like, this shit's delicious.
Oh my
These are in
God.
my yard. Where do I'm a young, like, that's how my brain goes. It's like,
Yeah.
I know where these are. Let me try and get one.
The food supply is here.
My BB gun wasn't doing it. It wasn't doing it. I hit a squirrel with my BB gun once, and it just kind of looked at me angry.
I like the summarization of this. You're like, I shot a squirrel with a BB gun. It didn't work, so I put peanut butter on my stick.
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much how it went down.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the only time I put peanut butter on my steak, but...
That doesn't shock me.
Dude, that's one of the jokes I feel like I hear a lot at the comedy club. It's like peanut butter and dogs.
Oh, yeah. It's all penis and vagina and
Yeah.
erections and...
That I would love to get some really good, what are they called? Topics, premises.
Yeah, new premises away from that kind of stuff.
Not yet. I'm not ready for that yet. I need to learn how to nail the easy stuff. I need to learn how to nail farts. I need to learn how to nail girlfriend jokes and penis jokes. I need to nail the basics before I move on to advanced premises.
I think I've only ever done one dick joke on stage.
Really?
And that was because I was at an open mic, and Melissa Logston is her name. And she was up there talking about how guys only do dick jokes. And none of us were going to do a dick joke that night. She went up first.
And you all did.
I had to like I got the guys together. I was like, guys, we all have to start off on a dick joke. Only because she said that we do them. And so we all came up with a dick joke and like unanimously went up there one after another and did a dick joke.
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
Have you ever done a show that's like, it's like they like pull a topic from a bowl and then like everyone gets to go up and say a one-liner about that topic?
Yep.
Like, you've done one of those? I've always thought that would be super cool to do. I wish a Funny Stop would put that on like Tuesdays or something. They have other days, you know?
Yeah. I think Teddy Bruno did a show like that in Parma at the Sunday Stage. We used to do that room.
Yeah.
That was a cool show. I mean, it was usually only comics, but...
Yeah, but it's still fun. It's make a good YouTube video, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, I mean, we just got real experimental with shit just because there wasn't really much of a crowd there, so what difference did it make? And all these guys have all heard our shit anyway, so...
Yeah, dude, it's super interesting getting into the comedy world. I can't wait to see, like, how my perspective on it, like, a year from now. Because right now, my perspective on it is very limited. It's like, I have fun. That's what I know. So
yeah.
You know, it's like I have fun. I go in there, I tell jokes. I need to tell my Afghanistan joke a couple more times before people forget that we were in that war ever.
Yeah, you're like, my time is limited on this. I need to get these jabs in while I can.
Yeah, that was my favorite joke. Is like, have you heard my like Windex, like my little Windex masturbation bit?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I go up on stage and I start with, I use a lot of Windex. Not a joke, just a fun fact about me. I go through 4 minutes of my bit, and then the last minute, I go through 4 minutes, and then my last minute is a masturbation joke. I go into it, and the masturbation joke ends with a callback to Windex.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily a masturbation joke. I start saying stuff about masturbation, but it's more stories about stereotypes and I just like to say weird stuff. I don't even know.
That's challenging.
It's my masturbation joke.
It's challenging to have a callback that early and like 4 minutes in between because you got to have everyone's attention from the get-go and at the very end so they can connect those dots.
My first and last line are the same line.
Okay. So that's pretty direct. I mean, they're probably going to pick up on that then.
Yeah. Multiple comics have told me they picked up on it. But some, like, a couple other comics said that I should try when I go up and do it the first time to make it really, really memorable in some type of way. Like, say it really loud or really weird or, like, something that can make it a...
Yeah, it has to gain everybody's attention so they remember that. Or, I mean, you could even put it, like, halfway through your set instead. So this way you only have a couple minutes in between. So
yeah. The first time... That was actually, like, that was my first week... How I did my jokes is I spent like a month and a half writing down everything I thought could be a good joke.
Yeah.
And then I picked 5 things. I went up there and I talked about them. My first night I did pretty good. I went to the next round of the contest. But my second night I was like, fuck those jokes. All new jokes.
Yep.
And that was the first joke I wrote for week 2. And it's been the joke that I'm taking it to the next round of the contest with me. It's my favorite joke. That and the Afghanistan joke was my favorite joke that I came up with because it was like timely.
Yeah.
But that's like the joke that does the best for me.
Hell yeah.
Masturbation. It's very simple.
Yeah. Everyone can relate.
Yeah. That's the one thing is I've from doing that crowd work show I learned how to do like the not necessarily a lot, but I learned don't just tell my jokes, interact a little bit. And like when I started the joke, I was like, anybody in here ever masturbated before? And I got the biggest applause of that night because everybody had, I guess.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
They seem to be on that team.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing people do.
Crowd work's a good trick to have in your pocket, man. I think that crowd work show is helping a lot of people out.
It's hard. That's really hard. I don't, like, it scares me to go back after how bad I did the first time.
I'm just glad I made that highlight reel because after that I'm feeling real confident every time I go up there. I don't know. I was hoping to get a second round this last week, but the lineup was too long.
That lineup was amazing, though.
It was a really good lineup. Everybody did good.
I would go see that show again in a heartbeat. I'd pay $15 to see that show again with Florentine in that lineup.
Oh yeah, even material would be
$20.
good.
Yeah, that was I hadn't seen a lot of those comics before. I saw you and John. And I've seen you and John. I've seen John, I think, a little more than I've seen you. I might have seen you a lot too and just didn't know it because I was going and I went to see Carter like a year ago. And
okay.
I went to see Carter right before he went back to Dayton. year, and then I came back a couple times and just watched amateur nights. So if you and John were there, I knew John because he was introduced to me by Carter. Like he was talking to John after the show, and I was like, "Hey, good show," and I met him then, so I knew him.
Yeah.
But I may have seen you back then.
I mean, probably. I used to do a lot of shows with Carter back in the day when he was out here.
Yeah, I think he's doing pretty good down there in Dayton too.
Oh yeah, I know he was working at a club for a little bit and was getting stage time there, and seems like he's networking really well too. He keeps sending people my way, or every now and then he'll come up and.
Yeah, you have a show. You had Waleed on, didn't you?
Yeah, I had Waleed on. I think that was a couple weeks ago now. Oh no, he did actually pretty good. I don't know what he's talking about.
He said 10 minutes was hard.
Well, yeah,
we were doing 5. You know,
definitely. It's good practice though, and I thought he did fine.
Waleed will be next week's episode on this show.
Hell yeah, that'll be cool,
yeah,
man.
I love Waleed because we started at the same time, and he's hilarious. He's just naturally hilarious.
Yeah, he's so chill on stage. I mean, I think it comforts everybody a little bit to see how chill he is. And
he's like 19.
Yeah, I know, it blows my mind.
He'll be 20 next week, I think, something like that.
We ended up smoking after the show, and he was like, "Dude, this blunt's a pearl," and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was like, "Wait, he's 19. He probably doesn't know what good blunts are."
Yeah, he actually probably knows better than most older people because, like, you just give up on caring about that at a certain point. You're just like, this is just what I do.
I don't know, man. I just don't think I'm that good of a roller, and I've got so many friends that just roll like amazing, and I'm like, dude, I can't hold a candle to some of these people.
Yeah, dude, I'm a pretty good roller, but I don't really do that very much anymore. The glassware makes it nice and easy.
It's so much better. I mean,
saves you money because you use less.
I lost my favorite piece recently, and I didn't even do anything to it.
Mom.
I didn't even drop it. Like, I didn't knock it over, nothing. I just picked it up one day to clean it, and it was rattling inside, and I could see there was a piece broken in it.
Yeah, I usually just use little bowls or whatever, or whatnot. I've got a little electric nectar collector.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, that thing is pretty cool. That saves you so much money.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's if you buy $30 dabs, it lasts you as long as like $100 of bud.
Easily.
And that little device it charges. You don't need anything to heat it up but to click the button.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Man. See, the only good thing with the blunt situation is the little bit of nicotine that's in it. That's kind of nice. And
that's the best for sharing, too. If you have 3 people or 4 people.
Yep, you could just pass that around. Good to go. I'm driving usually, so I'm trying to get rid of it. I don't want to drive home with this. Let's just smoke this thing. I don't have any paraphernalia on me.
Yeah, that's funny.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, shoot, paraphernalia. I could have got caught a couple times for paraphernalia.
I got caught once, and I didn't. Yep. Did not need that.
I've never told this story on this show before, but my freshman year of college at Cincinnati, the day before classes, I got me and 6 other guys threw in. We all had just met each other. We all live on the same floor of the building, and we threw in like almost a gram each on this like 6-gram backwood.
Ooh.
We all took one hit. Up pulls a car. Out of the car, campus police. And we all were so new to the campus, we didn't know. Run.
Yeah, just go. It's not evading police. They're not actual police, right?
Yeah. By the school, I had to go to a bunch of service hours. And
oh, no.
the thing was, dude, the next day, I got caught in my room drinking in the dorm. 2 days in a row, I got busted. And I had this meetings were like a month apart. And they were like, you have one chance before you go home.
That's it. You're going to AA.
Yeah, like they were. I was like, oh my gosh. But I was a legend with the drinking case. We're in my room celebrating Thirsty Thursday, as you do your first week of college.
Yeah.
We invited, some girls from the floor. There's probably 8 people in my tiny little dorm room sitting on the beds. This tiny little, oh dang it, the camera's about to cut out. All right, well, we'll come back to this. We're back, and I was talking about my story in the dorm room. So yeah, there's like 8 people in my dorm room, and
First week of college.
Just got caught smoking weed the other day, and I freaking knock on the door. Everyone's hiding their drinks,
As they do.
My one friend is walking to go to the bathroom, was cracking the door as the guy knocked. He looks in, me, Four Loko.
Oh,
I'm deep throating a Four Loko, and he sees me doing it. And Then he shuts the door in the guy's face.
Which probably made it worse.
Made it worse. And then they knock, they open it back up. Everything's hidden. And they come in and they're like, all right, you guys are all drinking in here. And I was like, no, I was drinking. Just me.
I'm Spartacus.
Yeah. No, they were like, I was like, just me. And they only cited me.
Yeah, so you took the hit for everybody.
Yeah, but my friends got me back later. They
Oh,
took the
that's
hit on
fair.
I was in someone else's room drinking, and they were like, he was not drinking.
That's only fair.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good situation. I felt like the man.
How are you preparing kids for the future if you don't let them drink in their dorms? This doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, literally. I mean, I think 18-year-olds should be allowed to drink beer like in the old days. Like I
agree.
I don't care if you don't give them, if they can't go buy whiskey and vodka and stuff. If they can just buy beer under like 4.2%, Bud Light, Miller Light, Busch Light.
That's a fair compromise.
Yeah, give them that.
Man, that's such a tough one because every kid's so different.
Yeah,
like,
but let them ease into it.
Yeah.
If you give them beer, they're easing into it for 3 years.
Exactly. No, the idea that you just turned 21 and the tradition when you're 21 is to go get
Shots?
blackout drunk.
Oh, dude, my 21st birthday was in April.
Oh, okay, so you know exactly.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, I fell out of my chair. It was so much fun.
See, it's a good
any
time.
of it.
Some people can handle that, some people can't. That's what sucks about our society. The laws are written for general purposes.
People are different, dude.
Very.
Think like there's 18-year-olds who have been doing stuff on their own since they've been 14. They've been walking to school, 13, 12. They've been walking to school,
Yep.
figuring out what they're going to get for lunch on their own and doing life stuff since they've been young. And they're 18 years old and they're a very different person than an 18-year-old who's never had to do anything for themselves. They didn't even get a license because their parents would drive them anywhere they wanted to go.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big difference between people. Like,
I mean, there's 18-year-olds that have killed people in foreign countries, and then there's 18-year-olds that get panic attacks at Chipotle. There's very different.
Which, I mean, there is a lot of choices.
Yeah, that is
So it makes
overwhelming.
sense.
Don't get me wrong. I'm like, I look at it and I'm like, I see how you'd panic, but I got this. So let's just order online. It'll be a lot easier.
I don't know. That's a big menu online. There's a lot of options. I don't know.
So much easier than someone shouting it at you and the person behind you mad that you're not moving fast
Man,
enough.
some people can't handle having decisions. It really hurts some people.
My girlfriend's one of them.
Oh my gosh, making decisions stresses her out.
Anything. Like, we'll go to a bar and she'll be like, surprise me. And I know I can't surprise her with any drink because she's going to get pissed at me that I didn't order one that she likes.
Shout out to the crowd, Adam Neal.
We have a live audience.
Yeah, we got a live audience now of one.
In studio. Man, this is so much better when it's not on Zoom.
Oh, you're doing Zoom podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Zoom.
It was a double-edged sword. I mean, we had some people from like out of town that would come do my show, and then, I mean, my one buddy is in LA, and so we did a Zoom like
That's
podcast
sweet.
episode with him. We wouldn't have been able to do that, you know.
You know it's legal to give someone HIV in LA now?
You can just give it to them like on a silver platter.
So in all 50 states, you were required, if you had HIV, to disclose that information before a sexual encounter.
Yeah, as one should.
California repealed that law this week.
They repealed it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I hear. I don't know where like my mom told me about it.
I gotta look into this.
So like if this is real, like oh my gosh.
Not that I'm getting around in California or anything, but I
Yeah.
used to think that was the promised land. I mean, they had weed and mushrooms are legal.
That's in Oregon you can do crack.
Yeah, basically. I mean, Alaska, you can do meth if you want. No one's gonna come stop you.
I mean, there's no rules in Alaska.
They have like laws, but
there's
barely.
grizzly bears.
Yeah, really. To
You
me,
can't have rules when there's grizzly bears. That's just not right.
I wonder what the stats on that are. Are you more likely to get killed by a grizzly bear or overdose in Alaska?
Dude, there's no time to be cutting drugs in Alaska. You get that pure stuff up there.
That might be why everyone's surviving up there.
Yeah, they just live in the bush and they marry their cousin and they have good times.
Plenty of time to chop weed when you're all methed out.
Yeah, you're all methed out. All you do is wrestle grizzly bears. And
Yeah.
Your females, they all have beards up there. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a comedy scene up there. Like, what are the things they talk about?
I'm pretty sure you can go to like the big cities up there and tell some jokes.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just curious as to what the topics are. I mean,
Yeah, they probably just make fun of the bush people, right?
I would assume, or dicks. I don't know.
Yeah, everybody loves a dick joke.
I think
what I'm saying.
that's the universal joke. Everyone loves a dick joke.
Yeah, because everybody knows what that is.
I hope.
I think at a certain point, there's a certain age where you learn. I think it's 5th grade. They have that class about penises.
Speaking of dick jokes, man, I was doing the show last night at Grindstone, and it was a really good show. The crowd was awesome. The only weird part was the first table, like the front row, had this girl who could not have been over like 9 years old. She was so young.
Damn.
And we delayed the show like 10 minutes, and I told them, like, all right, we're going to get this show started in like 10 minutes, so, you know, go smoke cigarettes or do drugs or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that would give this table the notion that we're going to be talking about all sorts of bad shit, and this kid's not probably going to be suitable for it. And they stayed the entire time. The kids sat under the table, like up front, cross-legged, like watching the show.
That kid learned so much about life that day.
Yeah, Bob McClure was the third one up, and he's talking about how he's not pulling top shelf dick and like all sorts of blowjob jokes and stuff.
That kid had so many questions on the way home.
I'm sure.
That's worse than like when you like John Brown. He asked couples who had more sexual partners prior to you guys starting dating. He asked couples in the crowd that.
Yeah.
And that's a worse conversation on the way home than that.
Oh, for sure.
You explain to your 9-year-old, yeah, a blowjob is a shot with whipped cream on top.
Yeah.
What's a shot?
When a mommy and a daddy love each other very much. Well, mommy loved like 9 guys very much before I met your father.
Yeah, no. Yeah. When mommy and daddy love each other very much and they've only been together for a little while, she still does that.
Yeah.
After I haven't, she'd be like, Mommy, do you blowjob dad? Not in years, sweetie.
Yeah. He's not that lucky.
Yeah, if he bought me a car, maybe.
That crowd work show has been a blast, though, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was the one on Thursday was just fantastic compared to the other one I saw. The other one I saw, it was a couple amateurs, and I mean I was up there, so it was rough. Like it was rough for me because I couldn't even enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Because I was so concerned about what am I gonna say when I go up? What am I gonna say when I go up? Adam was there to watch me freaking bomb so hard. It was.
Didn't give him a chance, honestly.
But also I didn't have anything. I kept saying
Yep.
Got hit with the
I've had the problem of running out of tables. Like, I'll mess with this table a little bit, mess with this table, and like by the time I'm out of tables, I'm like, do I just make my rounds again? What am I supposed to do for this?
That's what happened at the other night. Is people would go to every table, and then they were just coming back to me and my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they just sit there and be like, "So you guys suck."
I had so many more in the chamber for that show, but I just didn't get to go up a second time like I thought I was going to.
Yeah, because we talked about so many things. Because you go first, you don't get like the other people get to see the questions you asked, and you get to see questions, so you get to learn a little bit about. And you're like, oh,
Yep. Later in the lineup's always way easier for that one.
yeah. I don't know if you want to go last though, because like too late in the lineup when there were 7 or 8 people.
Yeah.
It's like, who do you talk to? Everyone has been asked so many questions. You have to be real original.
Oh yeah, I like the fact that they feel inclined to heckle you, like they call you names or try to come back at you with stuff. I've had some of my greatest like heckler termination moments there.
Oh, man, dude, I think a heckler would terminate me at this point.
This one guy, I think I told him I loved him in those diabetes commercials. And he was like, when's your 15th birthday? And I was like, why? Is that what you're into? Or something like that. That was a blast. I fucked with him the rest of the show.
Oh my gosh. I liked how you came up and you were like, that guy looks like a sex offender in the way back with the glasses.
Oh, yeah. I said that he looked like he was looking to cast a young lady in a strong leading role on Nickelodeon or something that.
Yeah, it was that. And then the next guy came up and was like, it's not a lady. It's
yeah.
definitely a boy.
Yeah. Tank was like, no, he likes the guys. That's...
Dude, it's so hard to tell jokes to the people in the back there because you can't see them. How are you going to make fun of someone you can't see?
They definitely sit back there on purpose, which makes me want to fuck with them more.
Yeah. It's like, you got to be like, you sound like this.
Yeah, or just talking to him, I was expecting a response, and it turned out the guy behind him was talking, and I couldn't tell because I couldn't see that far back. No, I was upset about that.
I got to keep checking the computer for the time because I forgot to set the timer for the camera again.
Oh,
That's
no.
always a blast. But it's all right. Oh, shoot. So where in a week do you perform? Like, where do you, in your typical week, what places do you go to?
If I'm not doing Make 'em Laugh Mondays at the Grog Shop, I'll go to TikTok Tavern on a Tuesday. That's on Clifton in Cleveland. And my buddy Kevin Bain runs that, and that's a good show. You get like 7 minutes, and there's usually only comics for that one.
Really?
Wednesday, it depends. Sometimes I'll go to the Funny Stop. I like the amateur night there.
You should come this Wednesday. I'm hosting.
I'll come this
If
Wednesday.
you come this Wednesday, I will, because I do a little graphic design for work. I'm gonna put together a flyer, and they're paying me $25 to host, and
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take that $25 and I'm gonna run a Facebook ad Monday through Wednesday, and say come to the night, and I'm gonna put like you, I'm gonna put like Blake, like whoever I can, like I've asked and they said they would come.
Yeah.
I'll put them on a little flyer and put it on Facebook, advertise it for the $25 he's giving me, because I'd rather support the comedy club than keep the extra $25. Like, I have a job.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's only $25. Usually just goes right to the money that I'm spending at the club anyway on beer and stuff.
I would just buy an extra couple drinks, you know? I mean, that's only 4 Bud Lights there.
Yeah.
God, their Bud Light is expensive.
Shit, I drank Rolling Rock there forever. I was like, oh my God, these are like less than $1 if you buy the 12 pack, but I mean, they're like $6 here.
Yeah, it's like 25 for a Bud Light there, but also the pitcher of Miller's only 11.
Yeah, that's where you
They
make
want
out.
you to buy that pitcher.
Yep.
But that pitcher is a deal. It actually is. It's not a half bad deal.
No, especially there.
Yeah.
I would do that all day. But yeah, man, I'd love to go to the Funny Stop this Wednesday.
Sweet.
If not, I usually go to LVT, Lakewood
LVT.
Village Tavern.
Okay.
Have you ever been there?
I've only been to the Funny Stop so far. Barnsley's
Okay.
going to be my next place that I try.
Yeah, these are all like towards Cleveland, really. I've been doing more Cleveland shows.
Yeah, I bet you it's bigger crowds up there.
Yeah, it's usually a bigger crowd. There's more comics too. But usually you run into like people from Hilarities and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'd love to. Have you ever met any mainstream folk in your 2 years?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it depends what you mean by mainstream. Like bigger names in the area, bigger names all around.
Both, yeah.
Like I've done
Headliners.
Definitely, I've made friends with a lot of them. Like
Really?
Jeff Shaw, he does the Funny Stop all the
yeah.
time. Like he always like he'll come to Grindstone and do my show, and he's a really nice guy. He gives a lot of good advice.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Florentine after the show.
Yeah, usually the headliners that go to Funny Stop are dope. They're really
Yeah.
nice people.
He like was, me and him were talking for a second. He just looks at my girlfriend. He goes, "Does he tell jokes about you?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Don't take them too seriously. They're just jokes."
Oh, at least he's backing you up.
Yeah, and I was like, "Dude, thanks." But my girlfriend, she doesn't care. She's heard all the jokes that are about like my girlfriend, and they're all made up. They're
Yeah,
all made
yeah.
up story. Like, it's like I say my girlfriend, maybe one part of the joke is real. Like, I tell a joke about how I bought her a mood necklace and it never works. Yes, I got her a mood necklace, but like the rest of the joke is just a bunch of made up stuff about where the mood necklace doesn't work.
Yeah.
But
I've only done one joke about my girlfriend that was kind of true, and she did not like it. She was not a fan of it.
I bet not.
But the crowd was, and I told her, "Look, you're sacrificing so much for me. I really appreciate this because
Yeah.
this is a brutal joke." But they love it. Yeah.
The fun thing about being up on stage is you know what's true and what's not about what you're saying, and no one else does. So it makes it a blast. I could say I do meth up there, and no one would know if it's true or not. you
Yeah.
know?
A lot of mine are like blatantly obvious. They'll be like misdirection jokes, but they're pretty obvious that I didn't like murder somebody and throw them in a trunk or whatever.
I mean, anyone could do anything, man.
Yeah, that's the
I
beauty
wouldn't
of
put
it.
it past you, honestly.
No, I have a 2-door. There's not enough room in the back seat to move all my stuff out of the trunk.
I mean, if you run a wood chipper, you could really make it a quick process.
I am getting a detail next week, so I have a week to consider this.
Yeah, we had a conversation in the comedy club. I think Adam was there. We were talking about like how many gallons of bleach would it take to clean a wood chipper after running a full-size grown man through it.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm thinking you could get it done in 2 gallons if you spread it out nice and evenly. But they were like, "Dude, you're gonna need like 4 or 5." And I was like, "Man, you guys are trying to spend a lot of money on bleach. You already had to rent the wood chipper for this murder." Like,
They're gonna connect the dots if they see these receipts.
yeah, it's so many bleach. But like, if you run a wood chipper out into like a lake or something, or into the middle of the woods, that's gone in a couple days. There's fish and birds out there picking up those little bits.
I mean, do you have like a spray bottle of the bleach and like a rag, or how's this go?
It's your strategy. I don't know if I want to wipe down with the bleach. I think you run the wood chipper, you spread one bottle, and you get a nice spread on it,
Yeah, yeah.
And it like runs through the system, cleans out pretty good, and then you do a deep clean with bottle number 2.
Exactly.
And you can dilute it in some water even, and you could get it done in 2 gallons, Adam. You could get it done
If
in
you
2
diluted
gallons.
it, yeah,
You don't
that's
think
cheating.
it was 2 gallons?
Dude, 2 gallons. I just don't. I see like it destroying the body so much and getting so spread out around that wood chipper that you're gonna need at least 3 or 4.
What if I run water through it first and then bleach after?
Okay. Well, yeah, you're adding water.
Run a hose through it to get actually the residue off, and then I get the DNA off with the bleach.
That's how you do it, honestly. I've heard Coca-Cola works pretty well too, but I've never tried that. That was on Mythbusters. Yeah.
Really? Man. Mythbusters, what a show, man.
Yeah, they're like, what best cleans up blood?
They don't
Please.
make that show anymore, do they?
No, all the cast hates each other now, and so they stopped doing it.
Really?
Yeah, that
not
Adam
friends.
Savage does a bunch of stuff. I think he's got like a YouTube channel that's real popular.
There's some like TikTok Mythbusters. They're called TikTok Factor Cap.
Okay.
And they're fun. Because, like, people will make these TikToks and be like, yeah, if you hold an egg like this and squeeze it, it doesn't break. And, like, there's a bunch of different, like, whatever TikTok things people say what you can do on TikTok. And they test it and they go, we're Factor Cap. And they test it and see if, like, what these people say is real. And, like, they did this one that I really need to try. You take tequila, a glass of tequila and ice. You add a pinch of baking soda and a pinch of salt. And it removes the alcohol flavor.
Well, that's why I like the tequila. That just seems like a waste of time.
You could drink tequila like water, though. And they said
I
it
could already
was
do that
fact.
now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I drink tequila like this.
Oh, I love tequila,
Stay down.
man. It's
Tequila,
especially with the lime. The lime saves you.
I love tequila shots. Don't get me wrong, but if I do more than 2, it's like I gotta hold it down. It triggers the gag reflex in me.
Yeah.
One guy came on this podcast and he brought scotch. And he poured me, I brought these glasses down, filled them up all the way with ice, thinking he was going to pour, a fourth of the glass with scotch. Fills the glass to the rim with scotch. I didn't even drink a fourth of the glass in an hour and a half talk because, I'd take a drink and go,
That's weird, man.
On that podcast.
That's a weird thing to bring to a podcast. I mean, I like
No,
bourbon.
not.
I'm a big bourbon fan. But
I'm just, I'm not old enough to be scotch and bourbon and whiskey in it. Like, I drink Crown Peach if I'm going to drink some whiskey.
Okay, don't get me wrong. As far as flavored whiskeys go, Crown's got it down. They are the one flavored whiskey person that I will go to. But other than that, I'm just regular, straight up whiskey.
You ever had the peach?
Yeah, I've loved the peach
Better
one.
than the apple.
By far.
By far.
I like mixing the vanilla one with like root beer or cream soda, and like that's
Crown Peach
amazing.
And Sprite. Fantastic.
That's weird. I wouldn't have thought to try that, but
Fantastic. Me and him are probably gonna go Crown Peach and Sprite and smoke some cigars tonight.
Hell
Hopefully.
yeah,
I think
buddy.
That's the plan. Yeah, but you a cigar guy?
not really, man. I've been thrown into the situation. I've been offered cigars, so I have smoked them, but it's not something I go out and look for. I'm more of like let's just roll a blunt and drink whiskey kind of guy.
I agree. I agree with that. Why can't you do both?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with both, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not a huge tobacco guy.
I'm not a huge cigar guy or anything, but I like them. I like them a little bit, and I think if I keep doing it, I'm probably going to like them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting to that point where it's like, I'm at the turning point where it's like, man, I might start buying boxes, you know?
Just to have around the house.
Yeah, well, I'd love to be able to smoke cigars live on this show, you know?
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
But, while we're in my mom's house, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But come next year, I'll still be in my mom's house, but next year I'm doing a lot of different things to try and get the show, and then I'd be actually buying, one of those, just like those tents, like not the tents, but like canopies?
Yeah.
I'm buying a canopy that has walls on it, and I'm going to take that to colleges, parks, and I'm going to talk to random people. And
that would be sweet, actually. Just have a little mobile setup and invite strangers on. And
I'm going to talk to random people. That's actually what's going to happen with the Dream Tour podcast. I'm canceling Dream Tour podcast. This is called Duke It Out now. And so the Dream Tour podcast will become the Dream Tour show, and it will be only YouTube.
Okay.
And instead of being on other stuff, and that will be random people, while my Duke It Out will be the people that I chose to talk to. And like, I just felt like it needed to change because I was going all over the place, from entrepreneur, athlete, rapper, comedian, all over the place with who I had on. And now I'm not going to have requirements besides I want to talk to you for this show. I'm probably going to do a lot of comics now that I've become a comic.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from.
Yeah.
And there's so many interesting people in the scene.
So many. The people are
wild.
so different that go up there.
Oh, yeah, especially when you get to different areas and stuff like that. When you go from, like, the Akron stuff to trying out the Cleveland area, there's more people or, like,
Where
even...
should I go first in Cleveland?
First place, I would definitely go to LVT, man. That is like the staple.
Wednesday?
Yep, that is the staple open mic.
I'll go after my contest.
Yeah, for sure.
In November. First week in November, I'm in that contest for the amateurs, and I'll go after that. I'm gonna stay at the Funny Stuff until then.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a bunch of them though. Like TikTok Tavern, like I said, is cool.
Is that a Wednesday one too?
That's a Tuesday one.
Oh, maybe I'll go there first.
Or Thursday, there's Hatfield's. Hatfield's Good Grub. That's a cool one. John Armstrong runs that one, and he's hilarious.
Okay. I just wanna I'm about ready to start doing it more than once a week. But also, if I'm gonna do that, I think I'm gonna have to dedicate a little more time to writing jokes.
Yeah, for sure.
How much time are you dedicating to writing jokes in a week?
It depends. I usually at least like an hour a day. Like I'll just sit there. Like a lot of times, my problem is I'll lay in bed and I'll be trying to go to sleep, and like things will pop into my head.
That's when I think of jokes too. 3 a.m.
Yep.
I sit up and I'm in my phone typing. I get up in the next morning to read it. I'm like, dude, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably like driving my girlfriend nuts. I keep rolling over, like picking up my phone, click, 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 click.
Okay, So I was drunk at the Browns game. Like hammered at the Browns game.
As one should be.
Riding home, like we had a driver, and I wrote down a joke. And I can't figure out what I meant to say, but here's what I wrote down. Do drunk, you lose, you right, testifies.
Wow. Okay.
Don't know what it means.
There's got to be something in
Do
there.
drunk, do you lose, right, testifies.
Testifies. So you do drunk. So you do drunk things.
Yeah, do you lose your right to testify if you're drunk? Is that what I'm talking
Do you?
about?
So you're saying this person's doing them by doing drunk things. So you're calling somebody an alcoholic, and then saying that they have to testify about something.
But they can't because they're drunk.
Exactly. So maybe the goal here is to say that if you have to testify against somebody, get drunk first.
Yeah.
Because they're never going to believe you.
Yeah. So maybe the joke in itself is just reading the fact that I can't type shit when I'm hammered.
I get hammered and write down things that
make no sense.
It's always fun to be like really high, really drunk or something. You go to sleep, you write these jokes, you wake up the next day, and you're like trying to go back through your like stuff and piece together what's actually going to work.
Because I like to write down a premise and I like to remember a joke. I don't really write down word for word what I'm going to say.
I try to get as specific as I can with it.
You do?
Because you can
Everyone
even
has a
like
different strategy.
Sometimes even like going back and taking jokes that you already have done and just changing the wording a little bit makes it a different joke, or it like clicks, or something works out with it. Mm-hmm. It just from changing a couple words around. So if you're more specific when you write it down, at least in my case, I'll know exactly how I thought of it and how like different iterations of it that I can do to see if it works better.
Yeah.
I've had really stupid jokes that I thought weren't going to make it, and then I changed a tagline to it or something a little bit, and it just clicks. Everything works with it.
Yeah, maybe I need to try some of my jokes that didn't go so well in a different way.
Yep. And sometimes, as long as you have a solid premise, you could just change up whatever you want about it.
Yeah. I think when I come to this contest, my 5 minutes that I come out with is going to be pretty solid. I'm gonna have to be up there. I don't know who I'm competing against.
I don't know like the new graduating class all that well yet. Like I know you and Waleed.
Me and Waleed are on different nights. He's the week before me on the contest, so I'm actually happy I don't have to face Waleed because we could possibly both win.
You might have to eventually because the nights do combine to one final. So if you guys both advance all the way,
I like that we're separate on the first time, so maybe like we meet each other in the next round. It'd be super cool. I mean I know 9 people move on, right?
It depends. Pete's so up in the air about that.
Yeah.
He'll like add people, take people out. He had me judge one of them.
I don't want to be overconfident, but I think I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
Just because people come to see me, my friends come to see me, that's a good thing, and I usually get a good laugh.
It's all about the laughs. That's the honest way to do it. Or sometimes Pete will just do some bullshit and be like, "Oh, he didn't bring enough people. Yeah. You know, he doesn't move on or something." He used to get me with that all the time. Yeah. I had to try to explain, dude, I'm driving 45 minutes to be on stage for 5. I cannot convince my family to come do that. I can't convince my family to come hang out.
I can't wait for the night because I have told my family they cannot come. They're not allowed to come until my contest night. So they've all been like different aunts and uncles and my mom and dad have been asking to come to the shows, and I'm like, no, November 3rd. You can come November 3rd.
That's smart.
And I waited and waited and waited, and I cannot wait for my mom to be in the crowd and me to tell a masturbation joke.
Yep.
She is going to hate it, and my dad is going to cry.
I had one time at Grindstone where the only audience was my family.
No,
Yeah.
I would not have gone up.
And the other part was comics, and they all knew the jokes that I had told about my family before, which are all pretty much made up.
Yeah,
there's only a couple of them that are true, but
I really wish people understood that, like, we make shit up there.
yeah,
People like, my first show, I just made up some joke. Like, my first joke was, like, about women and how they don't make sense to me.
yeah.
And, like, after the show, people were like, I think you hate women. I was like, no, I don't hate women. I just said that I hate women.
Been there plenty of times. I have a lot of jokes about my mom that aren't real. Like I have one about walking in on her naked as like the premise, and the punchline is I'm like, how was I supposed to know she worked there? Or something.
Yeah, I've heard that one. That's a good
Yeah, and I had to do that in front of my mom.
Oh, that's amazing. She was probably so pissed.
Yes, she was like, why do you tell jokes like that about me?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I started telling jokes about my mom 2 weeks ago, and they went amazing. I actually had my best night 2 weeks ago, and I started telling jokes about my mom. I took real things that she said, like just motherly things, like you should start paying your college loans now because it'll save you money in the long run. Things like that she said to me, and she tells me that I should be a politician instead of a comedian and podcaster because I should use my talking for something like that. Like something like, more professional.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, Mom. But what I did is I took real things that she said to me and I made up like douchebag responses.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, this is what I said back to my mom. No, and it's not really what I said back to my mom, but it was hilarious when I was saying them.
Oh, of course.
Oh man, dude, comedy is so much fun. It's really crazy. I'm just falling in love with it right now.
That's how it goes, man. It's kind of weird, you usually just go hang out with your friends at a bar on like a Friday or Saturday night, and it's kind of what we do now. There's just really funny people there. Yeah. They all go up and tell jokes, and sometimes you get alcohol for free, man. That's slowly been the bane of my existence.
Every once in a while, Pete will be like, I gave you one beer for free.
I always just make sure to pick the beers that nobody likes, so this way if like a waitress will get it wrong, she'll just come give me the beer. Like I've gotten that. Or the one time I was there, Tina, like I was hanging out at the bar and Tina was working at the Funny Stop. And she asked me if I wanted this pair of sunglasses. She was like, "Hey, do you want these?" And I was like, "Well, sure, but why? Like, why? Are these lost and found sunglasses?"
From the Funny Stop.
You still have a picture?
No, I gave it back.
Oh.
But we went to watch. Who did we go watch that night? Man, I don't even remember. But I was so hammered. But it was the guy from Buffalo. What's his name?
Comedy Central guy.
Yeah, he was on Comedy Central, but he was a guy from Buffalo, and I'd know his name if I looked on my phone and took a picture of him, and I actually bought his sticker. I always buy the headliner's gear.
Yeah, you might as well. It's a cool thing to support.
Yeah, and I need workout T-shirts.
Yeah.
I'm literally so out of T-shirts. I just did that like cleanse out my closet thing, but then I realized that I threw away every T-shirt but 4, and I'm like, God damn it!
And now you need all of the shirts.
Like the only shirts I have now are like nicer ones that I'll wear out, and I'm like, I don't want to wear that to the gym.
Right.
I threw out all my gym shirts, and I didn't realize what I was doing. All right, we are 1 minute from the camera falling out, so we're gonna take a pause, take a pee, and we'll be right back.
Solid. Those poor bears are like Native Americans. They're like, look, you're on our land.
I'm gonna put this at. That's gonna be the intro right there.
Good.
In between sets.
To be fair, I mean, I think the bears have a bigger right to be pissed.
It's fair. The Native Americans have a pretty good right to be pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Okay, guys. 3, 2, 1. We're back, and we forget what we were talking about because I took forever to pee.
We went back to the Alaska topic. We were talking about how it's kind of fucked up. Bears are kind of being impeded upon by humans.
Yeah.
They run Alaska, really.
Yeah, it's the bears. It's bear country. Why are we up there?
Yeah, that's their land.
How long do you think it takes before the woke people start saying we need to give bears rights?
I support the right to arm bears. I do.
To arm? No, I don't. Bears are dangerous. They got claws. A bear is dangerous.
Well, if we give them opioids, they'll just probably be a bigger danger to themselves. It'll be like us. You give us guns and opioids, and look what happens.
Don't even get me started on the freaking opioid crisis. Oh, that's one of the things that like, I I'm a pretty jokey guy, but also I'm a little informed on what's going on in the world.
It's bad.
Most comedians actually tend to be like pretty informed people, but they just are like, nah, it's funny.
That's the fucked up part is like we are informing ourselves to gain. Like we're trying to find funny topics to talk about. This isn't because we care that much. We're shitty people.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. But like as a comedian, I think comedians' roles in society overall, like big comedians to small comedians, your role in society is to talk about what you can't talk about, and you talk about it in a funny way, and those people go home and think about it in a non-funny way. In like a real way. Burping in the mic.
It makes them feel a lot different about looking at those topics. I think that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's funny to see, like, if we'll talk about that Dave Chappelle special. People are trying to cancel him for making transgender jokes, but did they watch the special?
They need the context before they can jump to that.
If you watch the special, you know that that show is dedicated to his transgender, very close friend.
Yeah, who is also a comic.
He dedicated that show to her, and like, he makes transgender jokes because she loved transgender jokes.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite thing is I came up with some black people jokes this week for black crowds because black crowds find that funnier.
Yeah.
Then what? I don't want to tell my black people jokes to white people. It's just weird.
It makes them really cringy. Like I do jokes about my girlfriend being black a lot, and I talk about like the funny side of being a white guy in a black relationship, and like how all that works, and how my family's real ignorant about it. And that makes white crowds very uncomfortable because they don't like to talk about that. They're not sure if that's all right to laugh at. But when I do that in front of a black crowd, they find it hilarious because it's real. It's not hacky. Like it's black crowds are gonna be more honest with you up front. They're gonna be
people, not just black people, but people respect when you treat them like people. If you're making fun of everyone, make fun of everyone. Like, but also like my jokes about black people are, I have this thing where I actually think it's hilarious to walk up to black people that you don't know and say, I'm not racist, but, and then you add something that has nothing to do with race, and you just watch their reaction. It's a great way to make black friends. Like, just
that's a good way to get stabbed.
No. I'm not racist, but
that's
I eat bananas with the peels on. And they'll just look at you like,
did you just call me a monkey or something? Like, that's what that's coming off as.
It depends.
They're like, I don't know how he was trying to do it, but I'm pretty sure that's what he was saying.
When you do it to comics at the comedy club, they're like, what the fuck did you just say to me?
They're like, that's racist, but it's somewhere in there. I'm not sure where it's at.
No, it's so funny. It's one of the funniest things you can do. Like, the joke is like that. It's like, I'm not racist, but I think they should have stopped making the Cars movies after the first one. Cars 2 and 3 were trash. And they're like, wait, is Cars racist?
Yeah, no, that one didn't make sense. The banana one's the dangerous one. That one's...
Yeah, you could tie that... Okay, I guess you could tie that to race if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I'm not racist, but I do suck toes.
Yeah, that could probably be transpired as racist somehow.
How? That one usually gets a laugh, because people are like, did he just say he sucks toes?
Fair.
No, I told that joke on stage too. I waited to tell that joke until there was actually a couple tables of black people in the crowd, and there was like 3 or 4 tables of black people, and I looked at each table individually as I told those 3 things.
Yeah.
And they were losing it. And it was so funny though, because what's his name? He's got the curly hair. He tells the jokes about being in the woods.
Dan Myers.
Dan Myers, yes, Dan Myers. It would have came to me, but Dan Myers, he said something that was like, and like a black guy said something back, but the black guy was joking, and Dan Myers got uncomfortable on stage.
I don't see Dan doing a lot of black crowds.
Yeah, no, it was that same night, but he said something, and it wasn't really like a black joke at all, but the black guy said something back, like being funny. The black guy was joking around, and he thought the black guy was like mad at him, and he got like real defensive, and like he was like, and he didn't hear what the guy said, I don't think. He said something about, oh man, I didn't mean it like that, and the black guy was like, man, it was funny. Like he was trying to be, the black guy was trying to be funny.
Like, I didn't mean to shut you down, partner.
Yeah,
I just agreed heavily.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, he was just trying to be funny. The black guy was just trying to be funny, and he was like scared that he offended him, and it was really awkward. It was really awkward. I was sitting there like right next to the black guy, and the black guy was like, oh, this.
He's like, well, now I feel bad.
Yeah, he was like, now it's awkward. And then he went up to get pee, and he was like, oh man, like, I scared him out of here.
Poor Dan.
Yeah, it was sad, but it was funny. Were you there? You were there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It was so uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable.
No, I have to thank Tank mainly for getting used to being in front of black crowds. When I first started, he hosted my first time and got me into a bunch of shows, and we went to like Mansfield and a couple areas like that. Those were the best shows I've done, man.
See, a black crowd wouldn't make me uncomfortable because where me and Adam went to school is we went to St. V and we played football, and our school's like it was a very like diverse school. So there was like a lot of black people, a lot of white people. Like it wasn't like weird.
Yeah.
There wasn't that much of I don't like yes there's a little bit of a divide where it's like, you know, like at lunch people's like you can see like there's tables that are all just black kids, but really it was just all kids that played the same sports, you know, or they were from the same area. And like going to that school, half my friend group was black, half my friend group was white. I made friends with Chinese foreign exchange students who were from China, and that was super interesting because they tell you about what goes on in China and how like they can't have these type of phones and be on these type of websites.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
But I was blessed to go to such a high school where like I'm not uncomfortable joking around with anyone of any different type of person because like it's joking around.
Yeah.
Like I don't care where you're from, who you are, jokes are jokes.
I'm all about inclusivity, even joking.
I'd love to include everyone. I'd love to make fun of everyone.
One thing I always found weird being in Cleveland, when we have one of the highest Puerto Rican populations, you don't see like flat Puerto Rican shows, you know what I mean? Like you'll see like...
We do?
No, I'm saying we don't. We don't have any.
Wait, but we have a lot of Puerto Ricans?
Yeah, in Cleveland.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that? You gotta look the stats on that one.
I gotta look at Puerto Rican statistics?
Yeah, of the demographics in Cleveland.
Okay.
Yeah, that's weird that it's a heavily Puerto Rican area. I'm like, that's so far from Puerto
Guys,
Rico.
let's cancel him for talking about Puerto Ricans.
I'm not wrong. No one's gonna be like,
fact.
what? How dare he say there's a lot of Puerto Rican people in Cleveland? Definitely is. Used to live there. Yeah, there's definitely a lot. But it's weird that we don't have any like mainstream Puerto Rican shows.
Yeah. Dude, I'd love to get canceled one day though.
I would be all for it. No publicity is bad publicity, I guess.
Dude, I'm not... No one cares about me enough to cancel me. But, like, if people cared about me enough to cancel me, that'd be an honor.
I know my intentions on things, so I don't think I'm really going to get canceled.
I'm not trying to hurt anybody. Yeah,
No.
No one's out here being, like, crazy like this. I keep moving my microphone around. It's like I'm having, like, a freaking... Like,
panic attack over your microphone. You're like, I need this.
There's too many options at Chipotle.
That's why I haven't moved. I've got the microphone in the perfect spot. I can access the beer. I'm like, hey, I'm not fucking with this. We're good.
Dude, I need to get matching microphones. That's what I need to do here.
Why? What's the problem?
For looks. Aesthetic.
Nah, just get a third microphone.
I am probably going to get 2 more. This thing can actually take, I think, 10 of them, this soundboard. I just bought it and...
What a whore.
Yeah. 10. It's got 10 holes.
Yeah. That's I'm sure that's a category.
People wish that was a category. People be sharing. Ugh.
So what do you think the first show you're going to do after the funny stop is? Like outside of that?
Whatever you tell me to do.
Whatever. That sounded really sexual the way you said it. I didn't like that.
It could be if you wanted it to be. I mean, my feet are under the table where we could play some footsie. You know,
I mean, you can offer me all you want, but that thing behind you's got 10 holes. You're going to have a lot of
I got a lot of competition. I only got a couple.
No, man, you can. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Akron shows too. Like you can do the matinee, which I think that's actually at the Twisted Melts now.
Yeah, well, Barmacy.
Yeah.
And I heard that's in Kent, right?
What, the matinee?
The Twisted Melts.
Oh, there's one right next to the matinee now.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It used to be Cheese and Chongs, and now it's Twisted Melts.
Okay. Yeah. So from what a couple of the guys from the comedy show tell me is that they do they go to Barmacy. You get there at 7:30. You sign up. You do your show, and then you could actually go to Kent and do a Twisted Melt out there.
Oh, I
and
didn't
like you
know that.
can make both on Sunday night apparently.
That's kind of cool. That's gonna be a rough one, man. During football season, Sunday shows are rough.
Yeah.
But my first time I got into it with Ackler was at the Sunday stage after the Browns finally beat the Ravens, which sucked because I was really happy about it too, but he was really belligerently drunk and like kept interrupting my set. And so I did like 2 minutes of my material. And
Do people even pay attention during the shows?
Sometimes a little bit. I mean, it wasn't even so much that. He could have just not been fucking screaming towards the comedians every time he felt like saying something. So I spent like 2 minutes doing my set and then 3 minutes of roast jokes about this fat dude at the bar.
No, that's hilarious.
I didn't have a choice, so it was like, well, he's interrupting the show.
That's one thing I do need to like learn how to do is like make fun of people tastefully.
Yeah.
I've like when I go up on there, I don't really make fun of anyone. You know, I'm more like jokes. I tell jokes right now, but I don't think I've ever really been a guy that makes fun of a lot of people. But I should learn how to make fun of people better.
It depends if roasting something you're trying to get into. They're finally kind of bringing it to the Cleveland area now. Like I've done a roast with John.
Oh really?
Yeah, co-host of the podcast. I could not wait to do that roast just because he's one of my best friends.
Dude, John. So John said something to me when he was on stage on our Thursday night crowd control show, and he said something to me, made a joke about me, and I came up and was like, well, John Brown, and then I go, damn it, dude, nothing's coming to me, and he gets, and I go off the stage right after that, because like I said a couple jokes, and then I was like, well, John Brown back there, and then nothing came to me, and I was like, dang it. And I said that out loud. I was like, well, I was going to go at John Brown, but nothing came to me.
Oh, man.
I actually got a laugh on that. But he comes up and he looks at me and he goes, dude, I'm the easiest guy to make fun of in this entire room. And shook his belly. And I was like, God damn it.
I did a lot of
that
fat
made
jokes.
me look so bad.
I did a lot of fat jokes at that roast battle, but I tried to be clever because you don't want to just be like, John's fat. Ha ha ha.
I mean, that's pretty funny.
I don't know. I said something along the lines of like, John's a big supporter of a Honda Civic because a Honda Civic's a huge supporter of him, or something like that.
That's so funny. He does drive a Honda Civic, doesn't he?
Yeah, so do I. It's the
So
reason
does
I remembered. God damn.
I actually drove 2 Honda Civics before I got my Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, they're like venereal diseases. Everyone's had one.
Wait. Dude, I love, oh man. I love so many jokes at this show. Like I'm getting to like hear jokes multiple times and told different ways. Man, what is it? Who tells the joke that's like 80% of people have herpes? Give a hand. Give a hand if you don't have herpes. Then he's like, pay attention to who didn't clap there.
Was it Lucas or something? It's not you, Lucas. I could have sworn there was a different Lucas.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Yeah. It's tough because I'm not always at the funny stop like I used to be.
Yeah. I talked to him on Instagram, so it's probably right here. It's Zach.
Oh, okay, it's Zach.
Yeah, Zach tells that joke, and I love that joke because like everyone, I always look around, like I know it's coming. I look around to who's not clapping, to who's gonna get got.
It's honestly fun watching people evolve jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like you start off with a joke you kind of liked, you're like, oh, that's kind of neat, or even ones you don't like, where you're like, oh, I'm not a huge fan of that, and they come at it with a different way of saying it, or they twist up how they deliver it, and then all of a sudden now this joke is like phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've had jokes where I didn't even change it. I just kept telling it because deep down I knew that was a funny joke, and I was getting mad at people. I was like, fuck you guys. And so eventually it actually worked.
I can't wait to see like where I'd be at 8 months, 9 months, 10 months from now when I'm actually a year in and I've told jokes every week for a year and see if I even have any of the same jokes I still have. I wonder. Do you have any jokes from your first 2 months that you still throw in?
I'm trying to think. I believe I do. I'm pretty sure I still have a couple jokes from my first set, like my first ever set.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'll change them up like a little bit.
You know what? My first set was primarily jokes about having a girlfriend, and I tell this one joke about like I like relationships because if you stay in a relationship for long enough, you'll get a gum job.
I did this joke in my first ever set, and I was really proud of it, but I don't tell it now. It makes me upset. It's because people are really sensitive about abortions. But I had this whole premise that I was tired of guys.
It's like taking a shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out Louis C.K.
I was really upset because
that?
like the whole premise is that I was tired of guys not being there for their chick when they have an abortion. I thought that was like a two-way street.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came up with this like app where you'd go online and find somebody who would take you to an abortion. It could be a guy, a girl, whoever you want. And I was going to call the program Take One, Leave One.
Oh my God.
And
that's a fantastic joke.
And that was
go
my
tell
first
that in
ever
Texas.
set. Yeah, right.
Go to Texas.
Topical spot.
Yeah.
I might bring that one back eventually.
Yeah, you could. It's an easy thing to run into if you just say, "Hey, that new Texas law. You guys hear about that? I have a new idea about abortions."
I think that's just a scary one because when you hit the punchline, you find out who was on board with that.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
They're not. It's a big hit or a big miss.
So wait, are you a podcast listener as well as a podcast creator?
Yeah, somewhat.
What's your like number one podcast that you check out?
Depends. I like BBC World News a lot. I do a lot of that shit. I'm kind of
like
embarrassed by
BBC?
that. Yeah. I love BBC. It is my favorite thing. I can't get through the day without a nice BBC session. Had that experience. Had to explain that to Dave Flint one time.
Oh my god!
Did a
You had to
podcast
explain that
today.
to someone?
Yeah,
They
he
didn't
was
know what
like-
that was?
I had to be like, no, there's a news company, and what they do is, and he was like, well, that's not news. That's not news to anybody.
Everybody knows what that is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! So you watch BBC News?
Yeah,
Like
I watch BBC all day. No, I'm kidding. That or like there's this like In Our Time podcast where they talk about historical shit. I like that.
That's interesting.
But it really depends.
I'm basic. I listen to JRE when they come out with them.
Yeah, I used to do that a lot.
I love I mean, that's what got me into podcasting. I was a JRE fan, and I was like, you know what? I want to start a podcast where I have. It's similar to like Freeform. Like I like how he does Freeform and he talks about whatever, but also I have a different personality than him, so my show's not his show because I'm not him. So.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I have way less funding than he does. I'm like, I can't really do anything with
Does he even have funding, or does he just have money from freaking being on what's Fear Factor? He said he just got fuck you money at Fear Factor. That's what he always says. He says, I was a medium level comedian. I got fuck you money doing Fear Factor, and I didn't listen to anyone since then. I've done whatever I wanted, and like that's honestly very respectable.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, that's the trick. If you get enough money to just survive on, and then you want to just focus on comedy, like I'd be so much better at comedy if I didn't have a day job, or if I wasn't doing the college thing on the side.
Yeah. If you didn't have all those other things going on, you could be thinking about jokes and
All the
talking to
time.
crackheads all day.
And that's what I would do, is just talk to crackheads and write jokes.
Dude, I'd love to go. Like, I should just start talking to crackheads like once a week to make sure I can get some comedy. And I'm gonna just roll my window down with that guy's at the corner and like ask him like, "What's the funniest thing you know, man?"
I'd be scared because no matter what, like
I'll give him $1.
I don't want to piss the crackhead off because you can't fight a crackhead.
You can
You're
hit him with
gonna
your
lose.
car door.
You can.
You just
but
open your car door, hit him, and drive off.
He's a crackhead. He might just rip the door off. I don't know. He's got crackhead superpowers.
You're right.
You don't want to do that. Plus, if you open your wallet and he sees you've got more than the $1, he might just take it.
Well, that's not a problem for me.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I only brought $1 with me.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna reach in my change cup.
This is like crackhead's The Bachelor.
Yeah, yes. Oh my gosh.
Like, Greg, will you take this $1? And he's
That's
like, I will.
actually a great TV show idea.
Crackhead's The Bachelor. I wanted to pitch a TV show idea about the homeless people that hang out like by the dumpster, like outside any Gordon Ramsay show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they take like one bite of the food and then they throw it out. And so like I had this whole premise about like homeless people trying to cook up like the best homeless meal they can
And they're just
out of
hanging
like
out.
the leftovers of like the chopped kitchen or something.
That's actually hilarious.
I thought that would be really fun.
Are you interested in doing a sketch show?
Yeah, I've always wanted to.
Tomorrow, Writer's Room begins for my sketch show. If you're interested, I'll talk to you a little more about like the details after this. I'm not gonna like say what the show's about on air. I want to keep it a surprise.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
But if you're interested, I've got a couple of the other comics from the Funny Stop coming down. He's on it. My friend Tony's on it. So we're gonna get. I've already got like it's my show, so I have a plot line together, but I need episodes, I need character ideas, and so there's going to be a writer's room tomorrow 5 to 7 and next Monday 5 to 7.
Okay.
And we're going to get ideas together, and I'm going to finish the script. I'm going to send it around to the group for peer revision, and then we'll start casting.
Okay, so it's going to be like sketches, or it's going to be like...
It's a 10-series sketch series. It's one storyline, 10 shows, sketches, comedy. It's all comedy, and it's making fun of two very funny things. And I think I'll tell you a little bit about it here in like 8 minutes when we're out of time. But
yeah.
For now, I want to talk about... I cut you off earlier halfway through your week of what you do in a week show-wise, and I want to get that out there. So if anyone out here does want to check you out and they're from wherever, they can check you out. So like, just give us like what places do you hit on a typical week, even if you say on Tuesdays I'm here or here, you know, just give me that breakdown.
Yeah.
again.
Like I said, Monday I'm either doing the Grog Shop or I'm at either that, or Tuesdays I'll hit TikTok Tavern. So I'm usually there trying new stuff out. LVT, I'm there like every other week. I usually alternate between there or the Funny Stop on a Wednesday. So
Yeah.
got a 50-50.
Thursdays are you pretty much primarily Funny Stop?
It depends. I have been lately. Drew keeps asking me to come back to the crowd work show, and that's been.
You did good there,
It's
so
been a blast.
you're pretty good. You're pretty good at the crowd work thing.
I've
so.
had 3 in a row, and I've made the highlight reel twice now, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that. And Drew put those up on TikTok, so I was pretty
And they
stoked.
do pretty well, yeah.
Yeah, so far. Every Friday I'm at Grindstone Tap House. Except the 22nd, I'm going to Columbus for a show, so that'll be dope.
Oh, that'll be sweet, yeah.
Yeah, and then Saturdays, it depends. Sometimes I'll go up to the Funny Stop, see if I can get a guest spot. Usually pretty lucky. You
Yeah.
know, can't do them Fridays, so Pete's usually willing to give them to me on Saturdays. And Sunday, I'm usually watching the Browns. If I
Yeah.
don't get hammered, I'll stop in at Barmacy.
That's my thing is I go to the Browns games every Sunday. So and like the guys have been telling me to go to Barmacy. I'm like, dude, I'm so hammered after
Yeah.
the Browns game. Like I don't know if I could tell my set, but I'll give it a go this week because we're away, and I'm just gonna watch at home. You know, drink a couple beers during the game. So I'm gonna give it a shot this week. But most of the Browns season, I will not be at Barmacy on Sundays.
That's how I feel about it, and that's why John passed off the show to Jared, because Jared works a weird job where it's...
John goes up to all the games too. I always talk to him when he goes up there. I try and run into him, but we tailgate in different lots.
Yeah.
Because I tailgate with my family, and he goes up to his same spot every week. I'm not.
We're
If it was
from
like,
airport,
if it was
man.
like, yeah, we're right by the airport too. We're on the other side of the street from him. We're in the
Okay.
Muni lot. He goes to that little lot on the other side of the street.
Yeah, I went with him to the Chicago game. That was a blast. We did some preseason games, too.
Did you? I go to all the home games because we sell a little bit of Browns t-shirts. So
Hell yeah.
I'll sell some Browns t-shirts out the back of the van, and we'll we go up there, and I don't always go in, but I always go up.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Even tailgating out there is wild.
it's a blast. It's so much fun. But dude, a couple years ago, my dad took me up to a game. I get I'm like 18 years old, blacked out, dude. We're walking out of the game. My dad said he looked over. I was there. 2 minutes later, he looked back. I was gone. So I'm blacked out from like the first quarter on. I remember kickoff. I remember the first touchdown. I'm blacked out. I came to probably 35 steps into the Air Force Base. I'm inside the Air Force Base. I broke into the Air Force Base, blacked out. Guy in full freaking Air Force like military uniforms like, "Hey dude, what the fuck are you doing here?" He took me, he like got me out of there, and the cop came and was like, "Dude, what are you doing in the Air Force Base?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get to my car, man."
Which is a bad thing to say when you're blackout drunk.
Especially to a cop.
Yeah.
I wasn't driving, but he's like, "Are you driving?" No. And he's like, and I was like, and he was like, "Who are you here with?" And I'm like, "My dad." And he's like, "Call your dad on your phone." I called my dad on my phone. He goes, "Give it to me." He goes, "Hey, your son's trying to break into the Air Force Base, drunk here."
Like, to be fair, I wasn't trying to. I just did.
I did. I got in.
Realistically, who are you going to be mad at, me or the guards?
Yeah, dude. The thing is, if we make it to the Super Bowl, I'm taking a plane. I'm getting in there and I'm taking a plane. If I got that far in, blacked out, mildly drunk, I'm freaking getting in the plane.
You're just sitting in the cockpit asking the guy loading the gas up where the push to start is. This is bullshit.
That's
I
one
can't
of the-
drive a stick.
One of the funniest things I've ever done is I got blackout drunk and I tried to break into an Air Force base in Cleveland. It was
You didn't
great.
try, you did.
I did. I got in. I got 20 steps in before I
You
got
did
stopped.
without trying, which, wow, we need better military.
Yeah.
We spend too much on our military for this shit to be happening.
You think if I did that, I can't be the only one.
I'm just saying, if 3 of you would have wandered in there, 1 of you would have got the plane.
Dude,
They don't have enough resources for everybody.
like I was in my van and we have a DD who comes up to the games with us. My aunt, shout out. But we go up there. Shout out Elena. I mean, I guess I'll say your name on YouTube for ya. But we go out to the game every week, and I guess I just thought the plane looked like the van.
You were blackout drunk.
Yeah, no, I came to
Very drunk.
I came to when the army, like, my first memory is the Air Force guy saying, "You got to get out of here."
Ooh.
And I was like, I don't even know where I'm at. I thought I was in the parking lot looking for the car. I was just looking through the planes, like, none of these look like mine.
How big is this parking lot?
Dude, the thing is, it's right across the street from the Muni lot, the Air Force Base.
Well, that's just a bad idea to begin with. Whoever planned that needs to be fired.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Yeah, that's a good one. But dude, also my brother went, and sorry that I'm calling you out. My brother went. He got so drunk one time, he came to on a rooftop, at Ohio State's campus. Came to on a rooftop at Ohio State's campus. And he was like, damn, where the fuck am I? He gets down from the rooftop, he goes home. The next day, sober, he goes back to the building, and he's like, all right, this was a cool rooftop. It was like a rooftop garden, like type thing. I don't know what he said it was, but he couldn't figure out his way there sober. Like, he couldn't get on the roof of this building, but he was able to be on the roof, blacked out drunk.
That's the only way he could find it.
Yeah.
It's like that island in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The only people that know how to get there have already been there.
Dude, so you gotta be, apparently my family, blackout adventurers.
And that's how you get into all the good spots.
Yeah, we found a rooftop, we flew a plane, it was great.
Hijacked one, Grand Theft Auto style.
Yeah. All right, let's, we got about 2 minutes left here before the camera's gonna cut out on us. We're gonna wrap up the show, but go ahead and give yourself a little, like, social media. Give us all those where we can check you out.
Facebook, it's just Brandon Petri, obviously. Petri, like the dish, as per the podcast.
Yeah,
Brown Petri dish.
Brown Petri dish,
Check
good
those
podcast.
out. Petrified Comedy is basically my handle everywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, check out Grindstone Tap House. That's my show every Friday night.
That's your show?
Yeah, I don't really know. I think I've got some other stuff coming up, but it's not till November, so I'm not really plugging that yet.
Okay.
So yeah, until then, I'll be in Grindstone every Friday.
And for me, check me out, Duke Watson, or DukeWatt27 on Instagram. You follow the show so you know what else we do on here. But if you are from the Akron area and you want to come out on Wednesday to the Funny Stuff, I'll be there every Wednesday through November 3rd. November 3rd is my contest date. And this episode is brought to you by Dream Streetwear. If I haven't created a code for the new Duke It Out show. So if you go ahead into Dream Streetwear and use the code DRUNK from Drunk Question Session, you will get 15% off on any of your Dream apparel. Thank you guys for checking us out. And I guess I'm not going to do the Dream Tour outro. This is a new show. I haven't even came up with an outro yet. But check out Duke It Out next week. This was episode 1. We're going to keep going. We're going to have a lot of comics. We're going to have a lot of different types of people on this show. Thank you guys. Like, subscribe, and check out Brandon Petri.